Hello and welcome back to Boxing Social in association with Betfred. My name is Ayman Khan, and today I'm joined by a heavyweight prospect looking to put his name up in lights soon. And he's got off to a fast start even, and looking to continue that on May 14th. He is the one and only Aife Porter. Aife, how's life treating you?
It's not too bad. I can't complain, man.
Good, great to hear. Apart from some technical issues, it's not too bad, is it?
No, not at all.
Let's get into it, Aife. So being as this is your first time on the channel, it'd be good to get you to know you a little bit more. We've seen you out recently in destructive fashion, and we'll get to that in a moment. But let's rewind to boxing in the first place. What got you into boxing?
It was just mostly for fitness, to be honest. I got into boxing from fitness. I used to go to a gym in Campbell, Brixton called Flaxman. It was just like a gym, weights and cardio equipment there. And I met Dean and Dylan in the back there, and I used to talk to them guys then. And every Sunday we used to do a thing like we used to do like sparring, and obviously it evolved to Smoke Sunday. So we're the originators of it. Me, Dean, and Dylan. So Dylan and Dean taught me how to box, and then they just said to me, go to a gym, find a gym. I found a gym, and then but I was off and on, to be honest. And then I won some competitions and all that. Well, quite a few competitions I won, and then stopped again, started again, and now I'm here. Then me and Dean linked up again, and then now we're doing the business. We're fighting now. He's got his own platform and shows, so we're just getting it cracking now.
What was that moment that led you to going into training to actually wanting to compete like properly and go into tournaments or go into professional fights? What was that moment that got you from just like training to going and taking a step into actual fighting?
It was just like when the feedback I was getting, people were telling me you're good, you should find a club. So obviously, as I said, when I found a club, I literally got a fight straight away. And I was doing like them Dilla shows in the pubs and the hotels, some little small hall shows like that. I was just doing that, and then I just went from there. So it wasn't a thing I was going out my way to fight. It was this thing I just liked it, and then we went forward from there. So and then I started to fight, and then more and more fights happened.
Those Sunday smoke sessions were very interesting. I remember watching those videos a while back on the YouTube channel. Was it a case of people can just come in and start sparring, and you were doing that as well?
No, because what Dylan used to help the community in Flaxman near Campbell, Brixton. I call it Campbell. I'm from Peckham, so I don't know, man. People say it's in Brixton, but I say it's in Campbell, but I don't know. And he was just like helping the young kids, And then I used to always see him. I he used to say hi and bye. It was that kind of conversation me and Dylan had. And then I just asked, what are you doing? Like, what's happening back here? Because I was just like helping the kids, the community. And obviously I said, let me come. He goes, yeah, come on Sunday. I used to come on Sunday, and then I used to like spar. He used to tell me, it wasn't sparring first. He taught me how to jab and all that kind of stuff like that. That's how it started.
And you got your debut. You had your debut recently against Mladen Manev, which is an interesting fighter to have a debut against, because normally people fight, or heavyweights fight Manev in their second, third, fourth fight, that type of fight for fighting Manev. But you got him out, you had him in your debut, and you dealt with him very handily there. Talk me about because it was an impressive finish there with the towel coming in and dropping him as well. So talk to me about kind of what happened there in that fight.
Yeah, so let me go back in time a bit. So obviously we had a game plan. So when Dean said to me, it was like a last minute thing, is, you're going to fight. I forgot the guy's name, is the guy who said this now. So I was like, all right, cool. Obviously I've seen him fight Dave Adelaide and some other guys from the GB and stuff like that. So I looked at him, I said, this guy's like, his game, like he's good. That's my first fight. And he looked at me, goes, trust me, you're ready. I want to put you in a fight if he wasn't ready. So I said, all right, cool. And if you believe in me, then obviously I believe in myself too. And then we just did some training for it, the preparations. I literally had one sparring camp during that time there. Like, it was, he said he's doing a show for Christmas. So they told me Christmas time, we're fighting in February. I was like, all right, cool, no problem, innit? Then I'm running to get fit now. So I'm thinking there's no fights happening. So obviously the pandemic, the lockdown, all this madness was going on. So I'm not thinking anything of it. So I keep hearing, oh, you're going to fight. But I'm just eating cakes and cookies and all that kind of stuff like that. I'm just enjoying myself. And then Like it was getting closer and closer. And he goes, yeah, what's happening? What's going on? He goes, oh, you're a bit big. I was like, yeah. I said, I didn't know what was going on at the time. There was just mad. I thought, shit, I need to crack on with the training now. Like, let me train properly now. And then obviously, like I said, he told me we're fighting this guy, and then we had a game plan. Me, Dean, and Danny. So we've got a game plan, and then we just executed that game plan. So lots of body shots because he holds his hand quite high, and then when he's throwing them hooks, people always step back. So our plan was to go forward. So when he's throwing them looping hooks, I'm gonna go inside. That was the plan, and the plan paid off. So obviously, getting ready for the fight, I got there. Dean said, "I'll get there at 4 o'clock, whatever like that." And I'm thinking, "Oh, it's a bit early, man. Get at 4 o'clock." All right, cool. You got the doctors got to come in and so on. So got there. I never thought to like 10 o'clock at night. It just reminded me in the amateur days. Like I was like, "Nah, this is ridiculous." And I got in. Obviously, I got in the ring now. Then you just heard the last minute words. Everything was just kicking off. Anyway, I got in the ring, and then I just came out there and just did the business. So I was happy, for the results, and I mean, obviously the game plan it worked. So it's always good to listen to a game plan. When you have a game plan, it always works if we listen to it book by book.
Yeah, I mean, obviously your debut there got off to like impressive and fast start, and like you said there, you had that game plan coming in, and amongst the whirlwind of getting ready for this fight and whether it was going to happen or not, and the short notice. But what it looked like, it didn't look like that was going on in the background. It looked like a very accomplished performance from someone who looks like a fighter who's ready to step up to another test quite quickly or quite soon, as was being said in the commentary. The most impressive thing I liked about you watching the fight was your fluidness, and then the choice to go down to the body, because fighters in the heavyweight division, they're looking for those knockouts, and knockouts tend to, or at least they're aiming to get them from throwing them to their head. So is that something about you as well? Not just the game plan, but you like to kind of break your fighters down with the body shots too?
Yeah, 100%. Obviously, learning from Dylan when I used to spar with him, it's always go to the body and then go to the head. Old school fighters go to the body and go to the head. And obviously, Dean has always installed in me go to the body and then the head, because if you keep head hunting, you're not going to see the opportunity. You got to make openings. You got to go to the body first, go to the head or head, then body. You got to mix it up. You can't just be one-dimensional fight in this game, especially in 2022, where boxing's just getting more involved. It's technical. It's very scientific. So you just got to know certain things to do in the game. But it's definitely going to the body slows the person down.
Is there something in your mind to get that knockout done and dusted? Because for some fighters, they make the debut and that knockout doesn't come, or that knockout victory doesn't come till their fourth, fifth fight, or maybe even later on in their career. Was it something for you that I want to get my knockout very early? I want to do it in the first fight.
Not, to be honest, not at all, because when I think back in the amateur days, I was always wanting to knock them out. And then my coach used to always say to me, don't focus on the knockout. You focus on the knockout doesn't come. And most times when I focus about the knockout, I want to knock this guy out, it didn't come. So you just have to let the rounds go on. And then when you see the opportunity, you take it. If you go out there looking to knock the person out, I feel like it's going to be harder because you're loading up on shots. So it's better to just take your time. And then when you see it opening, then capitalize on the opening.
Boxing Heist 3 sees you feature on that bill. You're fighting Reece Barlow next. Moving on and moving forward with your career and looking to be exciting again. Is that the plan there for you?
Yeah, definitely. This guy looks like he's game too. He knows what he's doing. So I'm just going to, like I said, I always say to people, I just do my best in it. You know what I mean? So I'm going to go out there, do my best and see what happens.
You're managed as well by Dave Colwell, I believe. He's got a lot of experience in the game. What, in those conversations that you have about your career with Dave Colwell, what's kind of the path and the plan for you?
Yeah, just rack up the fights. Him and Dean are working together. So we're going step by step, to be honest. You know what I mean? It's just one step at a time. So we're going to see how it all turns out.
Being a heavyweight like yourself, the heavyweights seem to, more than other weight categories, go around and spar everyone. I've seen on your Instagram the some of the talent that you've been sparring. The one that sticks out most specifically is Derek Chisora, but I know you've been around sparring with other fighters. But talk to me about those sparring sessions that you have had and what you've taken from those sessions sparring the other heavyweights in the division in the country.
It's hard work. When these guys are throwing these big shots, and it's just skimming past your head. It's just like you got to think you don't want to get hit by these shots here, especially when I was in camp. You just see him knocking out all these sparring partners. You just got to say a quick prayer. You jump in the ring, and then you do your thing. You just got to make sure you're sharp, make sure you're fit. And if you show any cowardness in the game, they're gonna know you're scared. You can't let them know you're nervous or you're hesitant. So that's why I try to, when I spar all these guys, I try to make sure I bring it to them. If you don't bring it to them, they're gonna just make you look silly in sparring. But it's hard work, especially with Derek. We used to spar like sometimes 3-4 times a week. And it was just, sometimes I get there, I look around, I say, oh shit, I'm the only person. That means I've got to do 8 rounds. That's just like, you know what I mean? That's how it goes. But it's good. I mean, the learning I've got from that has been absolutely amazing. I mean, the knowledge I've took from that has just helped so much.
What did Derek say to you? Is there any specific moment you kind of had a chat with you about advice in terms of the boxing game at all?
Yeah, he just said everything. Just got set up shots, make traps, and you got to make sure when you hit them hard. Because if you don't hit them hard, that could be the only opportunity you get. So you got to make sure you hit them hard when you do see the shot and you connect. You can't hit them soft and connect. It's got to be hard. You got to, like, it's like a connect for it. It's got to play the game properly and don't mess around. There's no second chance. So you just got to make sure you go in there, you get the job done, and then you get out.
You were brought in for sparring for his fight with Usyk. Is that correct?
Yes, that's correct. Yeah.
That says a lot about you in terms of your kind of style. Then, for people who haven't seen you yet, it was your first fight, so people might not have seen you. Is that kind of indicative to how you are as a fighter? Very tricky, very able to put shots together, agile, and can move around.
Yeah, because obviously we do a lot of back in the days I used to do a lot of mess around sparring. So I used to spar in southpaw, and I just like doing southpaw because it's very awkward for people, especially too. I used to fight at cruiserweight. That was my in amateurs. That's the way I was fighting at. Well, it's not called cruiserweight in amateurs. It's called heavyweight. There's super heavyweight and there's heavyweight. So heavyweight is cruiserweight in amateurs. So I used to be very like moving around and all that kind of stuff like that. And then when Derek said to me, "Oh, can I go southpaw?" I was like, "Yeah, I could probably do that." That's literally how it started. So I said, "Yeah, I could do that." And then just from there, we just did lots of southpaw stance and all that kind of stuff like that. But yeah, so I believe I can do that in the ring too. But I'm mostly 90% I just stay conventional.
I feel let's take a look at a couple of other things before we bring it back to you. We were remiss if we didn't talk about the big fight coming up this weekend, Tyson Fury versus Dillian Whyte. Let me know how you think that fight goes.
Listen, that's a very, 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 very tough fight for both fighters. And I thought it's a very tough fight for Dillian too because it's a Frank Warren show. So Tyson Fury has obviously the backing, from everybody. It's just like, you remember Old Trafford when Alex Ferguson used to run it. It's 90 minutes is done. You only get extra time. It's never 7 minutes. So it's very hard, especially for Dillian, because everything's against him. But I just feel like with Dillian, he's very. I don't know. Just from knowing him as a person, he's very determined. This guy when we used to train together, I used to see him wear boots. I used to run like 5 miles in the sun in July. Like, I remember we used to run. I couldn't even do 5 miles them days. And he used to wear the boots and he's just running. I think, wow, this is amazing. I need to be like that. And he's very determined. And I love both of them. So this is a really tricky one for me. I don't really bet against Tyson Fury because I really believe in him. But even if I didn't know Dillian, it's just something about him. He's underrated. People don't give him enough respect. And I'm not just saying that because obviously I know him. I really feel like he's a really good boxer. I mean, like the stuff he does, I think, wow, like I use that for myself too, my style of fighting. I don't know, bro. I'll be honest with you. Like, if it could be a draw and everybody wins, that would be great. But if you ask me to pick one person, I'm gonna have to be fair and just pick Dylan. I'm gonna have to pick Dylan to win the fight. I just feel like he knows he has to bring the whole fireworks to this game here. So I believe Dylan could do it. But like I said, Tyson Fury is very slippery. He will switch stance, southpaw, he'll put his hands behind his back, he'll stick his tongue out. He's a very frustrating boxer. But obviously Dylan knows what he's up against because obviously they know each other from back in the days. And because I'm gonna back Dylan, I'm gonna back Dylan.
It'll be interesting to see what happens on this Saturday night.
This Saturday,
How about Usyk Joshua 2? We haven't got an announcement for yet, but it's expected to be happening soon, maybe in Saudi Arabia. But how do you see that rematch going if we get it?
Yeah, not to talk about politics too much, but I just feel like the situation what's happening in Ukraine right now with Usyk is he's going to be fit, because if he's helping his countrymen, how is he training? He's not training for that. He's obviously training to use guns and rocket launchers and that kind of stuff like that. So boxing's out the window now. He's actually in war. He's fighting for real. So I don't know if he's going to come back. Well, Joshua's been in camp now. If they would have fought straight away, had a rematch, I would 100% back Usyk to win again. But I just feel like, is he going to be fit enough in time if he's helping his countrymen and his family? I don't know. So on this one here, only because of that reason, now I'm going to back Joshua to win the rematch.
Mm-hmm.
But if it wasn't, I'll back Usyk. If there was no war in Ukraine, I'll back Usyk to beat him.
Aife, let's bring this back to you. We talked about earlier in the interview about getting to know you a little bit more. The one question that I was looking to ask you was, a lot of fighters get into boxing for various reasons, whether it be for making money, whether it be for fame, legacy, winning world titles, whatever it is. But tell me, what do you fight for, Aife? What's the goal and what's your motivations for boxing?
Well, I fight for my family, obviously. I mean, I don't want to go into too much stories of my life and all, but that's having it, because obviously I've obviously grew up in South London, and I'm a massive fan of boxing for the past like 15 years now, and boxing just means everything to me right now. I would love to listen. I was saying to my team, even if I get a Lonsdale, what's that thing called, Southern Area belt, I've made an achievement. I'm happy to get that. If I get an English belt, I'm happy. If I get the British belt, I'm over the moon. So I'm just seeing how the journey goes right now. I don't want to jinx myself and say I want this and get that. Listen, if anything I get, I'm happy. You know what I mean? If I can motivate another kid who could do better, because I train people too. So if I can motivate another kid and say, you know what, and he becomes, I don't know, champion or whatever, and he just says, you know what, Ify Porter helped me. I remember watching these fights and so on. So that'll make my day. You know what I mean? So I don't know. Like I said, I want to win. I want to get belts eventually. But yeah, that's it really. See how it goes.
Journey is a great word there, Aife. You've started your journey with an impressive knockout against Madamanov, and you're looking to continue your journey on May 14th against Reece Barlow. Give me a final prediction. Tell me what happens when you're stepping through the ropes with Reece.
I'm gonna play my usual music, my Beat It music from Michael Jackson, and that gets me motivated because of the words of the lyrics, what he says in it, and that'll motivate me. And I get in the ring, I'm gonna look at him, and I obviously go there with a game plan. Obviously, pop my jab out first, and that's assess the situation. Then obviously, let's go from there. And then hopefully I get the knockout. If I don't, I'm definitely gonna win. That's the whole thing. I'm not there to lose, so I'm gonna give my all. If I get hit, I'm gonna hit back. So just to say, I don't want to jinx myself. Just to say, a win for me, a win. Just to say a win.
No worries. And yeah, you like using that word again, journey. For those who watching this interview and want to follow your journey, watch you progress, where can they find you on social media? Yeah,
find me at Mr. Ify Porter. So Mr. Ify Porter, guys, check me out and follow the journey. And yeah, man, let's go from there, man. Let's get this party started, man.
Aife, it's been a pleasure speaking to you. Thank you so much for speaking to Box Social. I'm sure we'll catch up with you soon.
Respect, brother. Nice one, man.